Hey everybody, Ronnie here. So it's time for more questions and comments. Right here, that almost showed up. So anyhow, on the government spying on us thing, Jeff, he says where this is heading. Maybe this is because of some stuff that has been going on out there, but don't be surprised if one day there will be mandatory cameras installed on the dashboard of your truck so law enforcement can watch video on you while you drive inside the cab. Yeah, I see that happening. They know they could probably get away with the transponders because truckers use transponders already. They absolutely know that putting a camera in the truck that they can access would be a complete violation of our civil rights. That won't happen. For context, George Orwell wrote a book a long time ago called 1984. I suggest you read it. Daryl says we are heading to be a communist. No, we're not. Bam Bambino. Great video, Ronnie. The dot and government are just always up to something new, and it's crazy. I wish there was a way we could slow it down or have some type of control to back them off. We have limited control. The control that we have is at the ballot box and the ability to protest what we consider to be egregious changes in laws and regulations. That's really where we're at right there. Debbie, haha, with your hours of service. Let's talk about the controversial company Pooper Ego and their ghostwriters. We've seen the videos with some of their drivers showing what's going on. And by the way, if you drive a newer car, it has stuff built right into it. I have newer cars and they cannot be tracked. That's not true. They can be tracked. You're right. You're right. They're in there. And the fact of the matter is that we all carry a transponder with GPS accurate, pinpoint accurate GPS with us at all times. Our phones. So long as you have your cell phone on you, your location can be tracked. Yes, all of our trucks have GPS transponders in them. Even here at Super Ego, there are GPS transponders in there, and the folks in the office can locate your truck at any moment. It's the same way with the big mega carriers. As far as hours of service, I don't let anyone mess with my hours, with my logs. That's why I run recaps. That's one reason why I run recaps. Every day I have 8 or 9 hours coming back to me, not a problem. The thing that I think some of the older truckers have, I say older, but yeah, some of the issue that some of the older truckers have is a fear of technology. For everybody else, and even some of those older truckers that are opposed to ELDs, it's because you can't get away with cheating the system. I don't care what you say. You can say, oh, it's not as safe. You can say, oh, I had to drive while I was tired. You didn't have to drive while you were tired. You can say, anything you want, but what it really comes down to is so long as you've got a GPS tracker attached to your truck that is monitoring your location, speed, and what you're doing. you can't get away with pencil whipping your log. The hours of service are there for a reason. They were there before. The ELDs were mandated. And if you think that I or anybody else thinks for a second that you're upset about the ELDs for any reason other than you can't run 14 or 15 hours a day and pencil whip it on a paper log, then you unsubscribe. Matthew, another ELD thing. It's been proven that the ELD has actually made trucking less safe because instead of drivers being able to pull over anytime they got tired for a short nap like they used to on paper logs, now drivers are being held to a tighter schedule. The ELD tracks all movement. Drivers are pushing themselves harder and speeding more, as well as driving more fatigued. Look at the government's own accident statistics since the ELD was mandated. Once again, there are several times over the last few months where I got up, got ready, did my pre-trip, hit the road. A few hours later, that wall of fatigue hit me. What did I do? Pulled over, set an alarm, took a nap for an hour or two, most likely an hour. Just a nice little power nap to carry me through. Back down the road. The fact of the matter is, we have 11 hours on the drive clock, 14 hours on the shift clock. You've got an extra 3 hours to play with. So that's all there is to that. On the dot hack, that was a bad day. I think that's crazy that the government is not taking that security breach more seriously. As for the trucker who got shot, my guess is there's some road rage incident. We're always at fault, even if we're just driving on cruise in the slow lane. Somebody coming on the highway over the on-ramp will feel we should slow our entire fully loaded tractor down so that they can conveniently get on. That's true. Four-wheelers get pissed off at truckers, especially at on-ramps and off-ramps. Truckers get pissed off at four-wheelers. That's just the way it is. The thing is, we're the professionals, so it's up to us to not escalate or even de-escalate a situation. I've all seen the four-wheelers that need to hop in front of a semi and slam on their brakes. They won't let a semi by. The proper thing to do there is not blast your horn. It is not to continue going. Pull over. If you pull over, one of two things are going to happen. The four-wheeler might pull over with you, in which case you can go ahead and hash it out calmly. If more likely, the four-wheeler is going to stop playing and keep moving. All right? Let them get a quarter mile on you and start going again. You're just fine. It's really, we're going to get the blame anytime something like that happens. Cameras or no. So it falls on us to be the ones to be the bigger people and de-escalate that situation. From the Utah to Oregon video, I like the voiceover. Thank you so much, Chris. We'll see about doing some more of those. From the Mays Bad Freight Market, Chris says, common sense, inflation, nobody's buying stuff, shelves are full, common sense. Absolutely. Yeah. Inflation got high, interest rates are high, people stopped buying things. That's the tricky part. People didn't really stop buying things. They kept buying stuff. The retailers, on the other hand, are afraid that the people are going to stop buying things. So they've stopped ordering at the same level that they were. The Tricky part is they stop ordering at that level. Their stock dropped. The shelves start looking a little empty. Then people go, oh, there's an issue. And that's when they stop buying. It's a vicious cycle. And of course, it all affects. Chris Starnes asks, do I need an LLC? No. Do you need one? Is it a requirement? No. Do you need one because it's the smart thing to do? Absolutely. What an LLC does is it sets a firewall between your company and your company stuff and your personal stuff. With an LLC, I am able to go out on the road knowing that there is even an outside chance that someone can do something stupid and get hurt or die with me involved. Even though I'm a very safe driver and I absolutely believe that I would never be the one at fault in an accident. And I do always, obviously, have the cameras running. What having an LLC does is it protects my house, it protects my cars, it protects my bank account, my personal bank account, from liability in a situation like that. The LLC absorbs the liability. Now, I personally would still have potentially some liability if it was my fault. You can be fined, you can get tickets, you can go to jail if it's bad enough. But my wife and kids won't have to suffer through that, or through losing our house, us losing our cars, things along those lines. So the LLC is the business side extension of yourself. Moving even further, you can reap some additional tax benefits by electing to be taxed as an S Corp or form a C Corp. There are various things that you can do there. I'm hearing a lot of drivers talking about not getting correct rate cons. They bring dishonest on the amount of rate being paid to you. I can't speak to that. I get a rate con for every single load. Every single time that I have been quoted a price, that's what I got. Let me take a nap, but first tell you that it's great. Thank you very much. Back on, take pride in yourself. Hey, my friend, I like your videos. I'm joining Super Ego this week with Team Driver. Any thoughts and how much we can make? Thank you for the help. Congratulations. Team drivers, I'm a solo driver, keep that in mind. But team drivers can theoretically just almost hardly ever stop. When one driver's 11 is up, the next driver's 10 is up also. So you can just keep that truck running. The potential to make some really good money there is there. But once again, I'm a solo driver. I've team driven before. It's not my thing. But yeah, you can literally do maybe 2.5 loads in the same time that I can do one. So there is definitely the potential to make some money. All right, getting back to receivers of this week's issue. That was one heck of a week. And Jeff says, lol, what a mess. I agree. It was a mess. Comment on Success as a lease operator. I think it's a good company. You have to outsmart them, do shorter loads, but $1,800 to $2,500 is good money. Everybody's got a different idea of what good money is. You know what you need to make to survive. Maybe put a little bit back for the future. That's really the number that is right for you. All right. If I was making $1,800 a week, I could probably survive on that. Probably. I think I need a little bit better. That's not true. I could survive on 1,800 a week. But I am actually used to putting money back also. It Everybody has their own idea of what they need to make in order to survive. If 1,800 does it for you, fantastic. Keep in mind you do have taxes that are your responsibility in that. So that 1,800 is not really 1,800, it's more like 1,200. But if that's something you can handle living off of, 1,200 a week, then more power to you. I don't like doing short loads. I like doing the longer loads. I'm an over the road driver. Shorter loads aren't really great for over the road. I like to do 1,500 and plus miles per trip if I can. Now, I'm not going to turn my nose up to a really good paying short load, but I'm going to want to follow that up with a really good long load. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions for me or comments, please put them down in the comment section below. If you have an interest in joining Super Ego, give me a call. My number is on the screen, and I will put it in the description down below. I have started a Patreon. If you want to help expand the channel and support the channel, you can go to my Patreon and make a small pledge. I'll put the link to the Patreon in the description down below. Thanks for watching. I can't talk, but thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time. You have a great day.